Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Greetings from London. Extremely cold, 0 degrees. But the examination goes on and the course goes on. Just reviewing through the answers in part 1. You've been given the answer and the explanation for each of the questions that have been given. There are 30 SBAs that come for you. And the first one is on pregnancy and venous thromboembolism. Ideally, you should read that. It's a very important topic in practice as well as for the exam. It is most likely to come in one way or other. So, although some of you may feel that you are in part 1, quite a number of clinical questions have been asked during this, and we have classified them under various categories, and as you will see, this is under pregnancy and venous thromboembolism. The answer for the question, I don't want to read the question and answer, I just want to show you an example. In this is that there is a paradoxical embolus, which means the embolus never reaches the brain straight away from the peripheral venous embolism. But in this case, because of the presence of foramen ovale, it can reach the brain. So that's quite simple, straightforward. When you see that embolus has not been filtered through the lung, there must be a bypass through which it has reached the brain. So that's the logic behind the question. So try to understand the logic in each question. The next few questions are on anatomy, mainly on the cardiovascular system, as you would have realized, and the next question is anatomy, and the third question is on pregnancy-related endocrinology, and pregnancy nutrition, and physiology of pregnancy even, or the renal blood flow. And all these physiology of pregnancy and anatomy is found on the essentials mainly. But if you have any particular topics that are not covered in our guidelines that we have sent to you through the Dropbox, please write to me, and we will make sure that those guidelines are available for you, and we will try to say folder number what, and we are going to number all the folders, because there are lots of material that is common between part 1 and part 2. We put into one folder of guidelines for two reasons. One is that you can easily access it even when it is a continuous process of learning. Don't think part 1 is just you learn first on part 1 and then you keep that knowledge and then you start picking up knowledge for part 2. No, it is a continuous process. So why I put the whole part 2 as well is that some of the folders may belong to part 2, but still there are guidelines like hospital guidelines, GTG guidelines, which may be useful. Especially the GTG and NICE guidelines are useful for your first question, and the rest of them that are related to physiology of pregnancy, even for part 2 there may be questions. So I think these topics will be in the appropriate areas in the chapters that we have put in the guidelines, and I'm going to make sure that you will definitely have them in the guidelines folders. Now, gynecological problems and these under these titles you will find polycystic ovarian syndrome is very easy to find, and you can under gynecological problems, you especially related to infertility and endocrinology, this is polycystic ovarian syndrome is the one that you need to know about. Polycystic ovarian syndrome can definitely come for your exam. Then menopause. Then there is a question on a physiology of pregnancy, and there is a question on clinical trials, and it's a basic the type of question is based on some of the trials and things that have been done, and so you will be able to understand that. Okay, and I understand there have been some spelling mistakes in this, and placebo has not been separated, but I'll make sure this typographical error doesn't occur again. Question 12 is on epidemiology. You need to know definitely normal distribution and what is the median, what is the mean, all that you must know. And again, question 13 is epidemiology, 14 is epidemiology. These can be found on your essentials, okay? Whatever that I am not telling you to look in the guidelines will be found on the essentials. So either you have an essential or the appropriate chapter in the essentials will be available to you in your Dropbox. Question 15 is epidemiology and question 16 epidemiology. So the large run of epidemiology in this session. So you must go through the epidemiology chapter in the essentials, right? Then there is one question on biostatistics, and that's not very difficult. In fact, they ask about sensitivity, specificity, and positive predictive value. You must know the definition for all of them. And in this particular case, it is positive predictive value is the answer. I don't need to be telling you the answers because it's all given in the review of your question paper. Then there is a few other biostatistics questions, and there's one more on clinical trial. Okay, and another biostatistics and an epidemiology question. So this particular session seems to have been covered mainly to boost you up on epidemiology and biostatistics and clinical trial, which are equally important. And what metabolite is produced when vitamin D is metabolized in the liver, it is simply a biochemistry question, or it is, I don't know why they said physiology and endocrinology. It is biochemistry. I'm sorry about that misnomer that has been added there. I think it's a biochemistry question, and it is functions of the liver. Okay, and you can look it up under vitamin D, and that will tell you, and then or function of the liver. Okay, the answer in this one, what metabolite produces when vitamin D is metabolized by the liver, is calcitonin. And I would like to correct in your own notes also, you correct it as biochemistry, yeah, all right, which is BIO, BIO code and biochemistry. Sorry, it has been overlooked. And then the next one is on the renal system. Is the physiology of the renal system. Actually, renal system consists of physiology and pathology. This is the normal physiology. The question asks for creatinine excretion and not creatinine clearance. So you have to be, the urine contains 10 millimoles per liter of creatinine. How much creatinine is excreted in 1 hour in millimoles per liter? So it's creatinine clearance, not clearance, excretion, right? So the answer, of course, is 1250. Okay, so that's the physiology of the renal system. Okay, so that is correctly coded. Then question 28 is a new treatment for osteoarthritis. Okay, and that's again a clinical trial, and the answer you must be knowing by now. Okay, double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial. 29 is anatomy, again on the cardiovascular system. Okay, and finally, this is actually endocrinology, oxytocin. Okay, there is nothing called physiology of endocrinology, and it is actually endocrinology. So it should be END rather than. So it's endocrinology. So the basic endocrinology is that shares a molecular structure close with the other pituitary hormone. And what is the other pituitary hormone? That is arginine, vasopressin, have the same as the oxytocin. Yeah. So I think it's an antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin are produced by the cells of the posterior pituitary, so they have a common molecular structure. Now, I have given you some clues on how to utilize the answer, and I would love you to give me a feedback, okay? But if the subject is not found in the guidelines, you should look for it. And this is the exercise that you're going to do from the time you have answered the question until you get the answers. So when you get the answers, if you're not satisfied, go back and read. So this gives you a week of reading material, but triggered by questions, as I told in the first talk. I hope you will find it as we get along, we get to know each other better. And certain topics I might give a complete lecture, and you can choose those lectures, and you can suggest some lectures that you want to make clear about. For example, statistics or basic statistics or clinical trial. I will do them, and then I will post it as videos, and then you can watch them. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.